guys want to listen to the rest, it's on Patreon. Here I am. Hey. I was like, should I leave it off where it says whether I'm evil or good? Wow. I'm like, okay, it's 7, ready to start class. And it's like, this channel thinks that she's evil. And then I'm like, oh, click, turn it off. Don't want you guys to hear that. I was trying to set up my electronics in a way where we could have a nice video copy of tonight's class, because I have a feeling that this is something that we may want to listen to again in the future. I'm going to go fetch my daughter. She's going to come up here with me. Or Anya, are you hearing me? If you're down there, can you grab the box that has the webcam in it in the car? Let me just go grab it real quick. She'll come up with like everything in the car. She's like, here's your bottle of tequila, Mom. Did you need that? Oh, you got my tequila? Nice. No, there's a box. Yeah. There's a box out there. It's a gray box, and it has the webcam wrapped around it. It's like there's a webcam inside of it. So just it's like a gray plastic box. Yeah, you can sit in the swing. You want to sit in the swing?
Yes.
You want to be a bird? Yeah. Here's Anya. She's my 12-year-old going on, I don't know, 17.
Nope.
She says no, 19.
Oh,
I'm
lower.
kidding. Lower? Oh, okay. Oh, is that 16?
No.
15?
Yeah.
8?
Yeah. Yes.
Goo goo gaga.
Goo goo gaga.
Madison says goo. I don't know where Madison got it, but Madison has learned how to say goo goo gaga now. So she walks up and she goes goo goo gaga because she wants like a bottle, and then she actually tried to nurse off of me the other day. I'm like, what are you doing, girl? Because she's noticing that she's the middle child right now and Anya's in town. So she's trying to become one of them, and I think it's easier for her to be the baby than to be Anya. So who here is one, a first-time person, and then also who heard our radio show yesterday where Anya and I were on the radio? If you're a first-time person, feels like a lot of first-time people. Nice. Okay. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the first-time people. I hate doom and gloom hate is a strong word. Yeah, but I do. I hate doom and gloom teachers. I don't like people who work on fear and that are like fear-based teachers, you know, that are like, oh, the demons are going to get you, or the reptilians, or the, there's this one lady who has very informative teachings, but she's very fear-based. And she talks about how there's like, you know, the reptilian and the alien agenda, and there's the DFEs. A guy commented on my post the other day, and he's like, there are DFEs. And I'm going, DFE says dark force entities. I was like, oh, he must read this one lady's posts and stuff, because she talks about how there's a dark force agenda. And yeah, maybe in one level, there's stuff like that, but if we're all one, then technically we're the one that created the dark force agenda. You know, we created the shadow, we created the light, so that we could go live in this reality that we would not remember who we were. And the beautiful thing about what's happening on the planet right now is that our brains, I've got this lady named Dr. Shooter. I call her the cortisol doctor. I'm trying to hook up with her so we can do a class. We're going to do the physiology behind being an empath. And clearly her and I getting together to actually like do like a formal class is just not working. So I was like, you know what, girl, I'm just going to call you up on Zoom and we're going to hit go live. Because she actually says that empaths, she believes are children with PTSD, but you don't need to have seen anybody like get killed, or, you know, God bless the veterans, you know, I've got so much respect for them, but you know, these poor guys, they come back from war and they've got PTSD, even if they don't go, you know. And it really all depends on what body we're in. If we're an empath, so if we are prone to being in, say, our emotional body, and you go into the military, you are much more likely to go to fragment when someone's going like yelling in your face than if you're in your physical body and you can't feel anyone else's emotions. So if any of you guys are healers and you work with the guys with PTSD, the best thing to do is to pull them back into their body and do this technique that we're going to learn tonight about calling back all the pieces of ourselves and pulling ourselves into this higher density of self. Because like the recording was saying, and some of you guys just got here, but this recording that's also on Patreon, as long as you're a $25 member, at least $25 a month, you'll have access to all the recording, pretty much all the recordings except for these classes. And the only reason I did that was because I would like be eating dinner with Jeff and all of a sudden I'd be like, I'm in Vermont right now. What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing a healing on someone. I'd be like, I'm over here now, because I was leaving the sessions open so that people could still receive the healing all throughout the week, no matter what time they listened to it. And it was like killing me. I was going crazy, and poor Jeff always gets the brunt of it. And I'm like, why are you in such a bad mood? And he's like, I'm not. And I was probably clearing someone who was in a bad mood, but like, yeah. So anyways, so that's why I created the tier 3.5 so that I could then close down the sessions afterwards. I do all the healings on the 3.5 people. And then during the week, when you email me at healing@discover intuition, hey, Marissa, I'm going to do the session. I'm going to do the meditation right now. That takes all the healing that's sitting right outside of your field and just boom, like lets it into your field. And then when I get the email, whether it's after or before, I go back and I check your energy and make sure it's all clear and stuff. So that's kind of like the cheapest way to come to class, like every week, just not come live, pay $55 and do the healings afterwards. But unfortunately, the attunements, like the attunement we're doing tonight, there is no way I can get into the body that I get into when I'm on the radio and when I do these classes and when I do attunements. Like during the week, if I'm like eating mac and cheese with Madison and I get like a request, okay, I'm going to do it. I can't just be like, Shira, what does Shira say? By the power of Grayskull, I am Shira, and like take off and go attune them. Like I can invoke the healing that I've already done, but the attunements, it's a lot different, because with attunements, you're actually like pulling somebody up into a layer of consciousness that their divine spark has never been to before. So it's like deadlifting somebody up there. And then it doesn't mean it's going to hold you up there, but once you're introduced to that, it's kind of like a stream. Once it goes out there, you can continue to go out there. So hopefully by the end of tonight, I know this was the time travel class, but the guides were like, nope, we're going to get everybody out of Armageddon. And I was like, really? Fear-based teaching? Really? Brimstone fire, all that? And they were like, yep. And I was like, Anya, could you check that? She's my little checker. She's like, yeah, John's here. Mary's behind me. Great. Mrs. Bossy. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's who I channel in class. But anyway, so yeah, it's kind of funny having Anya around, because she's not around all the time, but when she's around, I know that I'm not crazy half the time, but most of the time I convince myself that I'm crazy. And that's why I think that I can take all this so lightly and just kind of be like humble about it and stuff like that. But to have someone else actually experience the same experiences that I've been having, like really made me think. And I was like, oh my God, I think that everybody's experiencing what we're experiencing. They're just not actually seeing it. So this is a question for you guys. Has anybody experienced since March 17th any strange feelings as if you got very, okay, the only thing that comes to mind is literally like pumice stones. It looks like a pumice stone, like pieces of self, like they look, has anyone seen themselves dead? Is what I'm asking, I guess. Has anyone seen themselves as not being alive anymore? Yes. Who said yes? Laura, Rochelle, Michelle. Oh my gosh. Okay. In dreams?
Yep, dreams, a lot of dreams.
Dreams. Let's see. Sonia. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my God, Amy, really? Amy says that her son keeps telling her he doesn't want her to die. I'm gonna cry right now. Okay, the nuclear war, Laura. I see that too all the time, and it freaks me out. So Amy, he's getting it from our like real self, I think. So that's why I needed Michelle here tonight, because Michelle can hold space and like literally like throw a tennis ball at my head if I just keep going. And then I have Anya here to remind me that I have a life and we have to get home by 10. So Jeff's like, make sure that mom gets home by 10, you know. But I really, really, really want to get to the bottom of this, because I think that the fact that the suicide rates are at the highest, sexual confusion, or, you know, confusion, if somebody was, they wouldn't like that word, because they would say they weren't confused. How do you PC correct say transgender? Transgender. You know, transgender people who think that they're a girl inside and a boy on the outside, and vice versa. There's so much ADD, and kids just, you know, Anya, is it hard for kids to learn at school right now, or do you think it's harder since March?
Yes, more of a spiritually people, like kids that like basically kids that aren't atheists have been having
Kids that are not atheists, she said, are having, it's right here, are having a hard time learning at school. Why?
I don't know. I feel like they're starting to like stop believing in their religion a little bit. And so it's kind of driving them crazy, and then that's all they can think about. And then,
oh, okay. And that's why that teacher, she said on the radio yesterday, she has a teacher that started like preaching in class, which is totally like illegal in elementary school to start preaching religion and stuff. So people are shifting, I think, because our conscious awareness is being taken from this safe place inside of our body, and it's kind of being pushed into this higher dimensional aspect of self that remembers who we were before, that remembers who our creator is, that remembers all of that stuff. And on some level, we are all of those things. So if we're remembering that, and then all of a sudden our awareness ends up in our body, then we're like, whoa, this is weird. So sorry for the people that are repeats that heard the radio show yesterday, but I'm just going to tell it really quick. Is when I was getting a massage at the hot spring 2 weeks ago, I had a vision of me standing with Madison looking at myself dead on a table. I then later on started putting Jeff in the vision, like Jeff was there and the cops and my parents, and, you know, I started like, you know, adding, you know, fake stuff to it, and like, you know, that was scaring me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh my God. And Madison was 15 and I've only got 14 years left on this planet, or 12. And so I was like, okay, there's something negative is messing with me. But I mean, it was real. I was standing there. Madison was right next to me, and she was wearing a space suit, like a NASA suit, like a big puffy white suit. So when I do healings and people end up in their white puffy suits, I know that the healing is done because I've removed everything from them, and they're now their cosmic self. They are just basically, they are their, what me and my friend Isabel used to call their mini I am. So their God self takes a clone of itself and drops it down into physical reality, and then it sits there. And then whatever it thinks up, it creates stuff. And then it starts feeling emotions and feelings and all that stuff. So I saw Madison in her spacesuit, which told me that either she was dead or whatever. I was my higher self, and I was laying on the table with this pumice stone looking face. So I go to Michelle, who's over there, and a bunch of people in the office that are very clairvoyant. And I'm like, am I going to die? Oh my God. Like, I couldn't get rid of the feeling of that. So then Anya comes to visit, and she goes into our dark room to meditate the other night. We were going to have a girls' night slumber party here because Jeff was out of town. So we're like, woo, slumber party at the office. We had our projector and everything. We're going to watch movies. So Missy over here goes into the meditation room, and she comes out shaking, like white. And just explain it really quick just real quick.
I don't even remember.
Okay, I'm going to explain it. No, I don't. Where is it? Oh yeah, go grab it. So she basically, and this is, I believe, what's happening, and this is the meditation that we're going to do tonight. I want you guys right now, while I'm reading this, to write down all of your family members that you can think of, that if the earth was ending, you would want to save them. You know, kind of like one of those things, because what the guides are wanting us to do is, when we go up into our real self, which is where Anya was, which is where I was without realizing it, I basically saw, like, I think like a fourth dimensional version of, she saw like an eighth density version. Like she ended up becoming like, I don't know. Anyway, so here is the, oh, is it recording on Instagram? Okay, there we go. Let me see here. So she's 12. 12-year-olds should not be able to write like this. I mean, it's awesome that you can. Good job. But I'm like reading this going like, okay, this came from a 12-year-old. Almost 13. How come I can't find it? It's because everybody's looking at me. That's why I can't find it. It's
a 405 number.
405?
Mm-hmm.
Came from your mom's iPad.
Yeah. Then it might just be your email address.
Huh? Okay. I will find it, guys. Here we go. Okay, so Anya was like shaking and everything at the office, and I'm like, great, I broke Jeff's kid. This sucks. Like, what am I going to do? Katrina is Christian. She's Christian. We have Christian beliefs. It's kind of like, okay, great. What did I do? So she actually went. She says, I need to write it. I need the charger.
She kept asking me to explain.
Yeah, I kept asking her to explain herself. So she wrote, I said, do you have the I don't feel real feeling? That's what I used to get when I was your age. And she says, and so she wrote, I am not dead. I'm just in a different level of me. I stop and breathe. I go to this place where everything is perfect. I hear nothing in the reality. I see nothing in the reality. The reality is all of a sudden false. It's nothing, blank and dark. I see the world from my high me. It's dirty and cluttered. It's all wrong. Not the way I intended it to be. It's all fake now. For the better, I am not fake. I was able to break free, escape the fake reality, the fake world, and the fake me. It was good to be the real me. It was me, the real me. I was free. I was real. The world opens up. I see it all, good and bad. I see it all: spirit, earthbounds, fairies, giants, higher selves, energy, souls, spelled like the sole of a shoe. Just teasing, but it is. Souls going up, death going down, life, but it's wrong, not the way it is intended to be. It's fake. I know what I have to do. I go up. I take the light, all of it. I let it settle into me. I cry and cry for what felt like years and years. I stop. It all stops. I go to the world and I place the light into the world. As it fills, I get smaller, slowly. It took 3 days, which I find interesting. The earth is not perfect now, but better. Better than I go down, I see America. I go down, I see California. I go down, I see Encinitas. I go down, I see Marissa's building. I go down, I see Madison in the upstairs room. I go down, I see Marissa. She looks stressed. That's a shocker. I saw Poochie, who was in the other room, and Christina. I see Matthew in the other room, awake but silent. I see me. I am dead on the floor. Not really dead, but in a strange way. I heal my stomach, because she saw the pumice stone stuff on her stomach. I heal my stomach and slide into me. I hear Marissa scream, Anya. I wait till she called me one more time. Thanks. I was so scared. I couldn't find her. Wait until she calls me one more time. I stand up and go to her. It was so much to take in. I feel real. So real. So real. I sit down and shake. I feel I've taken on so much. I can't think. I see everything from behind and up of me. I see all the higher selves and guides. I get water and food. I barely hear Marissa and Christina. I see their higher selves clearly, but everything else was a little fuzzy. I feel like I am dead, but I'm not. I'm just new. I am the real me. I see a lot. I'm full of love and super light. I am air, nothing, but everything all at the same time. I am me, the real me. I finally feel complete. I'm going to charge this. So I don't know if you guys have ever gotten that feeling where you don't feel real. You can just kind of say like, yeah, I get that. The I don't feel real feeling is, this is dying. You want to, actually, here we go. The I don't feel real feeling. The I don't feel real feeling is after we go up. It's actually in there. It has a cord wrapped around it. I asked the guides and they basically said, yes, as a teen. So what the guides have explained to me today, like they haven't stopped, like the downloads have been like, is Anya's going to be 13. And when we go from the second to the third chakra, if you look up like DNA activation, when our consciousness moves from the second to the third level, we lose our physical body and then we go into our I am self. And that's when we start becoming like, I am rich, I am poor, I am this, I am that. And that's when we start creating like that bubble around us, like that, our snow globe pretty much. Because prior to that, we are our family. You know, kids are on the playground going, my dad's a drug dealer. You know, my dad's a bank owner. My dad's just like, no matter what their dad or mom is, it's the coolest thing in the world because they are their mom or dad or whatever. And prior to that, we think that we are the earth. I mean, we think that we're so much the center of the earth when we're in our first layer that we think that God cries when we're bad. You know, it's like God's crying because I was bad washing the earth. You know, it's like everything is about us. So as we ascend through the different layers of consciousness, I think we go through these deaths and these rebirths. And I think that Anya is just so clairvoyant and kind of tuned into all this and happened to be over here with me at the time, which I'm glad that she was able to kind of experience and see what happened. Where's your little picture of the earth? She drew a picture of the earth the way she saw it. And I've been seeing this, and I'm sure if you're here tonight that you've kind of seen similar too. There we go. Nice. Now we've got a nice camera. Let me see this real quick. Sorry guys, just trying to.
M stands for me.
Huh?
The M stands for
okay.
me.
So the way the world works, there we go. Perfect. Now it's way more clear. So that's what she saw basically, is the earth opening up. And I have pictures. I have these pictures over here. Because when I've shown you guys, and I know that a lot of you guys are first time people, but when I was in, I'm not gonna. So when I was in Ojai, I was meditating, and I've told this story a bunch of times because it was such a life-changing thing to see all the different me's everywhere. I found myself as my compassionate witness, which is what you guys are being attuned to tonight. Your compassionate witness, your divine spark, and whatever. So basically, everyone's being attuned to their divine spark, their awareness, and then their real self. So you can be, oh, okay, cool. The whole self, basically. You can be your whole self, and you can do it kind of, you know, right now you can force it. Say like, I am now whole. Show me where, and whatever your name is, and you can actually feel you inside of you. It's pretty interesting. And if you're not a first time person, you'll know that we kind of, you know, do this a lot where we'll say like, I am my higher self, show me where Marissa is, or I am my whole self, show me where blah, blah, blah is. Because we have all of these different layers. And if you've ran in spiritual circles, just relax. If you run in like spiritual circles or whatever, you hear we are multidimensional beings living in this reality. And it's true, we're a spirit, which is our divine spark. So that initial spark that came from God is that spirit that's within us. And if you're just listening to the thing that we channeled, Bill was asking about walk-ins. Walk-ins would be just one layer of those like 8 or 9 layers that we are, where the soul swaps or the spirit swaps. So it's kind of like switching hard drives. It's not like switching people. It's like switching information systems. So you're taking this soul that's been through torture and all of this stuff in this other lifetime. And because Marissa, the real Marissa, is programmed to come down here and become a drug addict and get in trouble and go through, I'm like, she knows. Anyways, like, oops, no, just become a drug addict and go through everything that I went through. in that recording I was just playing, the guides basically said that an angelic aspect of self came in to live in that layer of me at that time so that I wouldn't kill myself. So that I wouldn't go, this sucks. I don't want to be here. This absolutely sucks. Why am I here? Because we are living in this matrixed reality. We're living in a false reality. But at the same time, we're not. We only are if we're down here in this matrix. Once we can begin to come up into our diamond self, which is the us that created our life path, that planned this whole thing. What's that game called? The Sims? That there's like a game called The Sims or something where you create like your life and all that stuff. I mean, just think of virtual reality. I mean, you're sitting here at a computer and you're playing a game. I mean, some people have like computer husbands and wives and kids and they pay bills and they go to work, and it's like a reality that we're creating within the computer that's totally virtual. Think of that as like your real self, like the one that she was able to get into, the one that we get into, but we don't consciously really probably see that we do it. That's the us that we get into so that we can change our life. So we can be like, boom, go into that self, connect with it, and just visualize what it is that we want in our life. And that's when it's just like, you know, I just heard Peter say, the Red Seas part, boom. It's like, whoosh. You know, but it's like that sets up the energy in your life so that you can change your life. Because all of this, like, you know, not philosophical, metaphysical and theory stuff, it's fabulous. It's wonderful. Great. Marissa saw this, Anya saw that. Like, how does that help you in your life? Well, it could heal diseases. It can heal other people's diseases. It can get you that new job you want. It can find you your soulmate. It can change our lives completely. I mean, think of like the most depressed you've ever been in your life. And that's usually when our divine spark has lost touch with the light within us. And it's funny because the other night I was with Madison and she was like throwing a fit because she didn't want to go to sleep because is here, Anya. Is here. She doesn't want to miss anything. So she's laying in bed and she's drinking her bottle. And I went, Madison, I heard kind of within me to ask her where her light was. I said, where's your light? And she's like, she takes the bottle out, takes her blanket off her, and she goes, I was like, oh, she understood me. And then I said, does mom have light? You know, I'm like, I hope I have light. I'm like, does mom have light in her? And she had already drank her bottle again. She's drinking it on. And she kind of gets up and she reaches her hand through the crib and she points like right here, like right at my stomach. And I said, oh, cool. I said, well, does your light want to go to sleep? And she says, uh-huh. And I said, well, then why don't you want to go to sleep? And she started like, she took her blanket, pulled it over her head and went to sleep. So I think from a very young age, kids, if they start to learn to differentiate between what their brain is calling on, whether it's the light or their shadows, the light or their mom or their dad's personality traits that they take on, poor things. I'm already seeing like myself in Madison and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like they're like little tape recorders. You can't even like, you can't say anything without hearing it come back at you. And you're like, oh man, why did I say that in front of them? So when I was in Ojai at the hot springs, I ended up in a cavern, and Kyle Gray talks about this cavern. Pretty much every author at Hay House that I've kind of like, you know, watched a little bit, they all kind of talk about some form of a heart space, a heart center. So I want you guys to close your eyes, and I'm going to take you into your heart center right now, into this space where I ended up. And I want you to kind of see, they're calling it the heart center, or like the hall of mirrors. Yeah. So close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that you're sitting on a round stool. Okay, so it's like one of those bar stools that's round. And I want you to just kind of imagine that you're sitting on that. Your feet are kind of dangling off of it. And that round bar stool, it can spin. So you can spin from right to left. You can spin all the way around. Just kind of imagine how that bar stool feels up against your tush, and actually feel your tailbone against it. You can actually feel your tailbone hitting against that bar stool, the round bar stool. The legs of the bar stool when you bring your awareness to it, you realize they're like thousands and thousands and thousands of feet long. They're so long, but you don't feel nervous. You feel completely safe because you realize that that is a huge light channel beneath you. So that bar stool has light between the legs going all the way down, 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 down. You don't even know where you're going. It's just forever. It goes down. Putting your hands kind of like just on the tops of your legs with your palms up. I want you to bring your attention awareness kind of to your hands and just kind of clench your fists and then just let your hands relax. And then clench your feet and then let them relax. If you feel any part of your body that's kind of like tight, just kind of like clench your back and then let it relax. Your neck's tight, just kind of clench it and then relax it. The key here is you're tightening and you're releasing any stuck energy that's within your physical body. And you're on this bar stool. I'm going to infuse the bar stool that you guys are imagining with, what is that? Stellar light energy. Interesting. It's light from the original creator. There we go. Oh, sweet. Okay. So just in case anybody has any attachments or anything, I don't want that's what they're doing. They're clearing out anything beneath you. So they're clearing out anything that could be affecting your experience right now. So you may actually feel as if the tense energy that is within you is just kind of flowing down through that bar stool down into nothingness. So just kind of allow for that to pull any negative energies out of you. In your mind, you can even say like, I release all of my wife's energy now, and just kind of feel as it just kind of flushes down out of you, down through that little bar stool, down through the light channel, and just sends it off somewhere else. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so as you relax your body more, just kind of start at the top of your head. I want you to imagine that you're standing on the top of your head. Actually imagine what it would look like if you were like walking around on the top of your head. You know, what your hair would look like or your lack of hair. And again, it's just all in your imagination. Just kind of imagine that you are walking around on the top of your head. And you're still securely sitting on this bar stool that is now infused with light. And the little tiny you is on your head. There you go. I'm just making sure everybody's in position. There we go. Find the very middle of your crown. This is your light line. It goes all the way up to source. And just imagine that you're right in the middle of your crown. I have a hard time imagining I'm on my head. I have to actually imagine that there's a me walking around on my head. So if that's how you have to picture it, that's fine. If you have to imagine that you're back here looking at it, however you need to imagine it is fine. So that little U is on your head. It's going to find the central channel. And if you don't have one, I'm attuning you now. So we're reconnecting everyone to the original light channel that they are. The divine light, the light thread that connects them back with their creator, their real self, and the creator of that. Here we go. And as this light begins to drop down from above and connect with the center of your head, I want you to imagine that you're standing right in the middle of it. And as you do that, your feet are going to begin to drop down into your head. down into the center of your brain, where you find yourself in sort of like a little control center. You can see out of your own eyes, but they're not really your eyes. It's almost like there's a window on the forehead of the person that you just sunk into. You can see forward. You're right in the center of your brain, right on top of the pineal gland. There we go, perfect. Just want to decalcify the pineal gland, removing all energetic frequencies of fluoride, other energies, foods, GMOs, stuff that would cause the third eye to shut down, cause the pineal gland to not be fully active. There we go. There we go. And release any veils in the highest and best way from anyone who's being veiled or blocked from seeing energetically, feeling energetically, knowing. There we go. Perfect. So from the center of your brain, you can look forward. And when you look forward, you see a mirror. In that mirror, you can ask to see what you look like. So say, please show me me. If you see something scary, which a lot of you are seeing, that is what you honestly think of yourself. That is what you, at the very core, believe yourself to be. Because somebody told you you were that. They told you you were a bad baby, or you were a horrible toddler, or you were a this, or you were that. At some level, that's what you were told. But you weren't conscious enough, old enough, aware enough to say, no, actually, you're the one that was in a bad mood. That wasn't me. You were projecting on me.
Daddy!
Oh my goodness. There we go. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Get muted. So then what you're going to do is from directly above you, that light beam coming directly down into your head, into the you that's in that little control deck that you can create into whatever you want. It can be a little spaceship for all the, whatever. That light beam is going to shine down directly down into you in the center of your brain, go straight out between your eyes, and it's going to dissolve, heal, renew, attune, and rise up that piece of you or that reflection of you, and bring to who you truly are. And I'm going to send the energy down. And just kind of clear everyone's perception. I'm going to go through from in utero, who you saw yourself as. Clear that. This is, did mom say, oh, I didn't even want this kid. I didn't want them. Or, nobody, it's, what did you hear consciously as a spirit? Because you, that little person that I had go on top of your head, that's your consciousness. That's the you that will never die. That's the you that no matter where you go, you're whole. You have all your chakras. You're you. You have your personality. You are you. And it doesn't matter what body you're in, what layer you're in, that's you. And looking through your human's lens of perception, you see yourself in ways that people, it's either your DNA programmed you this way, or you were told you were this way, you told you yourself you were this way, you got made fun of, whatever. Okay, so while you're in mom's belly, we're going to clear that. There we go. Whew. Lots of you were boys and mom wanted a girl, or a girl and mom wanted a boy. So just allow that energy to clear. Now we're going to go from ages 0 up to 5. Say, show me what I look like. Imagine what you look like in the mirror in front of you. Doesn't matter what you see. You may see tons of people. A lot of you had earthbound attachments at this point. So when you look this way, you may see like a ton of people. Or you could be tuned into a group consciousness. So try not to judge it, just see it. And I'm going to send down the energy to clear it. So just kind of imagine this huge bright energy shooting down through your head, down into that you that's in there, and out straight forward into the mirror, completely clearing it. There we go. Now we're going to go from 5 or 6 to 15. Please show me what I look like. And later on, you can go through this year by year just to kind of see what you look like, but that will take us all evening. So we're just going to go 5 to 15. Let's see, 5 to 14. Show me what I look like. Just imagine a mirror in front of you, and I have a hard time doing this. I'll see a snippet, but I can't hold the vision in my head. I get too judgy. I get too wanting to analyze it. So I just have to say, I am now me, show me in the mirror. And then I see it for like a second, and then it goes away. And right now I see a green witch. So we're going to clear that, send instant healing down. We're going to upgrade everybody's perspective to the next highest perspective. Activate all layers of DNA that are able to be activated and bring them all into alignment with their true source, their true mission, their true path. And at this point, as we go up to, before we go up to the next layer, you're going to ask that all pieces of you that have fallen down out of you, down into that abyss down there, I want you to say, calling back all aspects of self that gave up. I want you to imagine those pieces coming back to you. Calling back all aspects of self that left. Just kind of imagine them as little balls of light, or you may even see them as you. You may have a memory of when you left. Maybe you got hit or beat, or your parents told you they didn't want you, or something happened to where your soul said, you know what, screw this, I'm out. So as we send instant healing down through this light channel into your avatar self, which was that body that you were standing on, into your consciousness, which is the you in the center of your brain, sending instant healing through you into that mirror and calling back all pieces of self that left. And as they come back, we place a protective bubble around you. As these pieces come back, as they pass through this shield, they're healed instantly. Their perspective lifted. And they are taught the true definition of love and what it feels like to be loved and what it feels like to receive it and give it. Real love, not hostage love. You must love me because of this. None of this. Now you're going to say, I am now 15 to 25. Show me what I look like. Imagine you're in the center of your head, looking out through this window, like right between your eyes or your forehead, into this mirror. Please show me what I look like. 15 to 25. Calling an instant healing to each and every individual that is here tonight, that is on this list. I have here all the attendees, and there's two. Suzanne, I've got you. A few others that I have on the list that weren't signed up traditionally. So we're calling an instant healing, 15 to 25. If you're not 25 yet, 15 to whatever. Anya, you can take a break. You can call in healing to your future. If there's children here, future self. So calling in healing from above, down into the head, into the mirror, dissolving whatever you see in the mirror. If you have specific people that hurt you between those times, you can say, show me what I looked like to me when I was with blah, blah, blah. Or calling back all pieces of me that left when I was with so-and-so or whatever. So calling back all pieces of self that, in essence, jumped ship between 15 and 25. Jeez. I want you to do something that's pretty interesting, actually. Ask the percentage of soul energy that remained within you during that time. And I'm not going to go through each year because it'll take a long time and I want to do the full meditation, but it's interesting because some of you guys, it's like 1%, some it's 2, some it's 5. I think the highest is like 62. Oh, that's it's the percentage. So we know I asked the original creator of all, of everything, creator of the creator of the creator of the creator of the creator, all the way up through infinity, all the way up to that which created that. We ask the energy be sent down into and unto each individual doing this meditation now, receiving this attunement, that will allow them and give them the capacity to embody, see, feel, and know life with 100% of their soul's love, of their soul's knowledge. I want you to imagine a little gauge going from whatever percentage, like a little like empty to full gauge. Just imagine from, say, 1% up to 100. Just imagine the little gauge going up as we counsel for each of you. Facilitate this soul retrieval. This is equivalent to over 1,000 soul retrieval sessions. You're calling back all of the yous that left. We're tired of it. Didn't want to deal with it anymore. You didn't want to deal with not feeling loved. You didn't want to deal with jealousy and anger and fear and hate and rage. You don't want to deal with the life that you planned. And as your soul comes to 100% capacity within you, you can say, calling back any other pieces that have left. You can come back now. You're safe. You're all coming from down beneath. From way up above you, there's a beautiful rose. It's golden. And it's spinning. That golden rose drops down that light channel, down through your head where you were standing at the beginning, down into your body, through your body, infusing every cell and particle, every aspect of you with the knowledge of God, with the I am, my I am. This golden rose drops all the way down through your head, through the you inside of your head. And then instead of you sitting on your bar stool, now you're on this golden rose. It's going to drop down and you're going to go with it all the way down through your neck, down through your heart, down through the solar plexus, down through the second chakra, the first, out your root, through that bar stool that you're sitting on, which is a white cosmic portal of light. As you pass through this, you, a Christed being, are ascending. You're ascending to greater levels. You're infusing yourself with that which is the all that is. As you pass through this white bar stool looking portal, you go down through a light channel, and as you enter into this white light, you can actually look back. You can see you sitting there. And you can see that you are actually looking into a mirror, and behind you, there are 3 mirrors. One for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. You look up above you, and as you follow the stream of light, you can see that if you were to follow it, it would take you up to another version of you. If you were to continue to go up even more, you would see that you would end up inside Source, your light source, your divine spark. So in your mind now, just say, I am my divine spark and that which created it now. Please show me what that feels like. I am my divine spark and that which created it. Please show me what that feels like. From above, your compassionate witness, or what this channel calls the GoPro video camera. This tool that you're given to see through the eyes of God is sent down to you as a bubble of light. So now you are a divine spark with a bubble of light around you. You are the electricity that is God. You are the awareness that is God. And from here, you begin to go up. And as you float up, you realize that there's a hand that is pulling you up, a huge hand. You gravitate towards this hand, You pass through it, and you stop in the palm of this being's hand. They're looking at you with so much love, so much compassion, so much admiration. This being is you. You can ask to see what they look like. But before you know it, they toss you up at lightning speed, up into the air. You fly through the air, straight up, all the way up. You feel as if you're never going to stop. And when you do, you end up on the top of another head, just like you were before. But this is your sixth density self. This is your real self. This is your creator self. Standing upon the head of this being, allow yourself to drop into their mind. Allow yourself to see out of their eyes. You can look at your hands, you can look at your feet. If you don't seem human, that's fine, because you're not. You can ask to see what you look like. Say, show me what I look like right now. From directly above you, the same light beam comes down through you and can heal the image that you see in the mirror, dissolving you into nothing. If you don't see any of this, this is okay. We are doing this attunement for each of you. This being that you are now begins to float up. And you realize that it's happening again. There's another hand pulling you up toward it. You pass through that hand and you end up in the palm of God's hand. God looks at you, says, I'm so sorry you've had to experience what you've experienced. I'm so sorry, but you don't remember. I love you so much. Please know this, dear child, that I am you and you are me. Do not ever feel as if we've lost our connection, for that can never happen. You can never do anything so bad that I would disown you or not love you. For I'm giving to you now this gift. From directly above, a gift comes. It drops into you. And it is the feelings and emotions that you've never gotten to feel in this life. Unconditional love, acceptance, gratitude. It's anything that you've been robbed of, that you feel you've been robbed of, anything that you've wanted to feel. God is sending to you answers to all of your prayers. Say, please show me what this gift feels like within me, in all layers of me. Please show me what it feels like. Just allow this gift to drop down into you while you're still in their hand. If you're seeing something that is not beautiful, that is not loving. Remove the word God, because many of you have belief systems around that word, and use the word I. Your I, before you even became an M. This is the I. The I takes their other hand as you're in one of their palms, and they have a beautiful ball, a sphere of light within it. They take this sphere and they begin to drop it down over you. It's a protectant. It's a shield. It's a regenerated light body. It'll bring health. It'll bring wellness. It's dissolving any rips and tears you have in your field. Solving any thoughts or ideas about not wanting to be down there in that delusion or illusion that's called Earth. This sphere for each person is the Ah, the A, the note A, and it is regenerative. Around it, there's a ring, the ring of creation. Allow this energy to merge with you. And as it does, this being pulls it into its diamond. God self, 0 diamond. You'll end up just above your heart, above God's heart, inside this sphere. I am now the I. Prior to the I am, please show me what that feels like. Please show me what it looks like. Please show me the earth. Above the earth, there's a beautiful, beautiful crystalline platter. I'm going to ask that any of your family members, any of your loved ones, anyone that may have their consciousness, their awareness trapped down beneath the bar stool that you initially sat on, trapped down in what many would call hell, the doldrums of their own mind. This platter say, show me my family that needs the help of the original source now. Just imagine little tiny versions of them. No judgments. Even if you don't like someone and you see them there, it's okay. We are healing them from their higher self level. If they want to receive the healing, they can. Don't feel as if you're forgetting anyone. Just know that with your intention of it being anyone that you care about and love. There you go. Please show me family and friends that need the original light source. From directly above, there is a line. That line begins to spin. It's another eye. There's a dot and a little line. Begins to spin. And it spins so fast, it begins sparking like a sparkler on the 4th of July. Comes down and clears them completely. The dot above the eye comes down and erases the platter, erases them, erases you, erases everything that you are, this entire landscape that you're in. For this is the void, and the void of creation. For you are the void. You are nothing. You are nothing experiencing creation based on what you think it is. Whatever you think, microseconds later it appears. You are the creator. As this ball or this void drops down, it gets bigger and bigger. Because a huge light source from way, 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 way up, a huge sunshine, but it's not the sun. Huge source of light sends down energy and expands this little dot for the eye, this void, expands it out so big that it erases you, erases the earth, erases the family members that were on the platter. You begin to enter back into your physical body and you feel the room around you, but this void expands and begins to dissolve the room around you. Continues to dissolve everything. Anything left behind is where we will be pulling your consciousness from. So if anything's left behind, just allow it to be. You now command that all energies, all landscapes around each individual be voided out now, leaving only that which carries their consciousness inside of it behind. So just like a white eraser board, erase the room around you, everything beneath you, all the way down, till you're nothing but blank space. In your mind, say, what is the very next thing I'm going to think of? In between that question and what you think of next, that's you. That's still space. That nothingness. Your thoughts create your reality. Be nice to yourself. In front of you, there is a table. In your mind, say, calling forth all aspects of self that need to be released. From the third, second, and first dimensional realms of all densities, all worlds, all times, and all places, calling back all aspects of self. All, as this channel calls, says, the pumice stones. Calling forth all aspects of self now. So just imagine a bunch of boulders or something in front of you on this table. We are now going to take about 30 seconds to administer the energies that are required to free these pieces of self and allow them to come back to you. As these energies hit these boulders or these rocks or however you're seeing it, they soften. They become porous. and symphonies, sounds begin to come from them. And as this beautiful music emits from them, your essence comes back to you. You come back to you. Woo! Yourself. Come back to you. Do not allow the dark side to stop this. Just continue to concentrate on the boulders. Allow us to dissolve them, calling back all fragments of self. There we go. These lower aspects of self will do whatever they can to keep you from coming back to you. They need your light to survive. There we go. Just above your heart, you find yourself in a diamond. You are your divine spark. Your bubble of awareness is around you. You're above your heart space. You're above the earth plane. You used to be inside the earth. Now you are above it. But you are still you. You're still sitting upon a bar stool, but it is now lifted up out of this room of mirrors. You're no longer living in a distortion of a distortion of a distortion. You no longer have a life path that you must live by. You create your reality. There are no curses here. There's no dark energies. There's no demons. There's no dark force energies. There's nothing. Does not mean that you don't still have an emotional body. Does not mean that you don't still have a piece of you that is experiencing the lower dimensional realms. But what it does mean is that you can rise above it. And we will teach you how to do this today, step by step, without having to do this meditation. Imagine that one, or that I, with the dot above it. I to the 8th. A little 8 next to it. Imagine that all the way up, way above you, and just imagine it growing and growing and growing, dropping down through your head, out through your root, down into the soil, into the earth, and then let the little dot drop down through the tube of light that creates into the diamond above your heart. Zero diamond. Unite. Zero diamond. Unite. All of the diamonds and all of the yous and all the holograms and all the clones and all the pieces of you, of the pieces of you, of the pieces of you, any curses, any wizardry, sorcery, anything that anyone has ever done to you in the mental fields to create pain or agony for you, because they were jealous of you, because they didn't like you, because you were their golden shadow. These things may have appeared as demons. Those are all gone now. There we go. Zero, diamond, unite. All of your diamonds coming together. Just imagine being in the middle of a diamond. There we go. I am now your name. I am whole, and I love me. Show me what I look like. And we will drop down your I am soul mirror to show you the real you, the true you, the authentic you. Because you can live in heaven on earth. You can be in this world, but not of it. You can be a Christed soul living on this planet, creating the reality that you deserve. You all deserve it. You all deserve it. You're not here by mistake. You're not listening to this by mistake. You're listening to this because you needed it, because you're here to help others unite the diamonds within. You're here to plant seeds. You're here to be a herder, because that is what people are like when they are asleep. They are sheep. They just follow. You are here to lead the way into what all of you have just become. United as one. And when we say united as one, we do not mean all of you separately. You are now united as one with all of the yous that you have ever been, ever will be. You are real. And as I, Mary, step into the energy today, what I bring unto each of you is a congratulations that you have gathered all your pieces. You have won the game. You have done it. You figured it out. Now it's about learning to live with this knowing that you control your reality. Do not worry about saying, oh, I despise myself, and then thinking something bad will happen. It is beyond this, dear children. It is what you know to be true, what will be true. This is beyond dream boards. This is beyond manifestation boxes. This is beyond all of these fourth dimensional fetish type things that helped you to think and believe and bring about. You must know within you who you are. I want you to feel who you are. I want you to pull yourself into your physical body, and I want you to feel what it feels like to be you. Pulling your diamond down into your solar plexus area. Imagine that you are there inside, and you have metal rods going down your legs into the new earth, the real earth, rounded, united. Steel poles into the real earth. Say, show me what I feel like. I am real. Show me what it feels like. Who am I? Show me what it feels like to know who I am. Give me a vision of who I am. Show me what I am supposed to do. Do not worry about how to get there. Just know and have faith and trust that it has already happened. All of the hard things that you've had to go through in life are gone. Just know and understand, dear children, that I, the Divine Mother, love you. I created the stars in the sky to shine for you. For when you feel lost, do not forget to remind yourself to shine. Just as we have said, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Please remember this. Never forget this. Never forget this. I am light. I am light. I am light. Bringing all of your conscious awareness back to your physical body, back to the room around you. If you feel anxieties coming back into your body, this is a little bit normal. Just remember, diamond self, zero diamond unite. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Imagine the light from your heart shining out into the world, dissolving the darkness around you. If it feels too dense to come back into your body, imagine that platform of light, the bar still beneath you, beginning to rise you up above the muck. Say, take me above the muck. Take me above the darkness.
I'm gonna let it shine, gonna let it shine. May you live each day with no regret. Make the most of every chance you get. Let your eyes get wide when you look at the stars.
Now commanded that all guilt be released from everyone's fields that they have entered into. Send blessing and love to those that we have lost. Allow all pieces of those that we have lost to be released from wherever they are and enter into the light that we are. All of our family members, all of our friends. Just be you. Just be you. Look upon yourself in the mirror each morning. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. I love you, whatever your name is. I love you. You're safe. And it is safe to be in my physical body now because I am my physical body and I am God incarnate. I create my reality. I am your name and I love me. We bless you, dear children, and we are so proud indeed. We love you. We love you. We love you. From behind you, your counsel is walking up. They're going to step into your field, get your journal, and just allow yourself to write whatever comes through. Dear old me. Dear old me, the old me from 30 minutes ago. I have some advice to give to you. I want you to know, and then just write. We're going to allow you 7 minutes to write. We're going to set a timer. We're going to allow this channel to write as well. We'll play some music so that you may write in your journals, Dear me from an hour ago. Because that you is still there. You can still come into resonance with it. But you can also live life from this point of view. Now it's up to you to make that choice each day. We are so proud of each and every one of you. And we bid you adieu. and play music. That's a little too fast. Oh, what's this song?
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round. You can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out. Ooh, mountain, we can walk it out. And ooh, mountain. And I'll rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I rise up, I like the waves. I rise up, in spite of the ache. I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Ooh, mountains, bring it to its feet. Ooh, mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, I like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
We now heal all relationships that have been hurt due to pride, anger, fear. All those times you couldn't say sorry. All those times you couldn't admit that you were wrong. Your light knew. Your mind didn't. Remind yourself of this light. Remind yourself that this is you. When you are feeling pain, when you're in arguments, I am light. I am light. Please remind me what it feels like. When you can't make a decision, what would my light do? Imagine holding a flashlight, shining it forward. Think of your decision. If the light doesn't shine forward, if it gets blocked, believe that. Right now, ask yourself inside, where is my light? Imagine that light like a flame with a hand coming out of it, taking over your hand. I am light. Dear, your name. Here are some times where I wish you could have seen me. Please do not ever forget me again. Dear, in your name, this is your light. I have some advice. Whatever it is that you want to write, allow your light to write to you. Allow your light to write.
Also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic. Oh, I can now hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. Where that foghorn blows, I will be comfortable. Yeah, when the foghorn, I want to hear it. I don't have to fear it, and I want to rock you just say so. Just like way back in the days of old.
Allow yourself to be forgiven and forgive others for all of those that you cannot forgive in this new dimension of light. It can only hurt you. It can only hurt you because you are one with them. They are you. Your light, dear honey. As light, darkness cannot exist in light. Shadows are created by light. You are all angels. All of you. Every last one of you. Ask your light to show you what it feels like to be your original angel. I am my light. Please show me what it feels like to be the original creation that I am. Take your human self in your own arms and give them anything they need, like a baby. Tell them what they need to hear. But as you tell them, you are God, so you speak into creation. Your words create from this level. You are loved no matter what. For dear children, the only thing any of us do anything for is for love. That's it. That's all. You don't like others because they get more love than you. You want money so people will love you, so you'll love you. You help others because you feel love. You now install within each and every one of you a love box. This love box is in your solar plexus. When you're not feeling loved, say, I am my divine spark and I am inside my love box. Please show me what it feels like. Please show me life through the eyes of me that feels loved. It will be so much different. You do, Dorota, you have wings. So the God being that created all the gods that we were, we just thank that God, that us, that version of us. That light, that original light, for allowing us to feel, even if it was just for a moment, what it feels like to not be separate, to not be different, to not feel out of control. What we'd like for you to do is to begin to use the rings that we are placing above you, the rings of virtue, the rings of truth, the rings of humility, all of the things that you may lack in your life, the ring of compassion, they are all above you. So when you're feeling lost, when you're feeling confused, imagine that eye from way above, allow it to grow into you, allow the dot to come down into you. Allow your diamond to expand out. And then say, send me the God ring, or the light. We'll use the light ring. Send me the light ring that would help me most right now. And imagine a ring dropping down over you, expanding out bigger than you. And allow it to be wrapped around you until it heals whatever it needs to heal. And when it is done, it will dissolve on its own. There's a ring for every virtue. There's an angel for every virtue. These rings are angels. Angels are not beings with wings necessarily. They are rings. And that is why you are in the arms of an angel when you're in these rings, these virtues, these light virtue rings. We bless you. Let me go take care of some mascara. You guys keep writing. I'll be right back. We're going to do a 5-minute break. compose myself. Mandolin, make sure that you're at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. If you got that, are you writing? Okay, good. Anything dark within us will do stuff to mess with us. Any pieces of us that like didn't want to come back, like let's say you were from the same soul that Hitler was from. Like honestly, I mean that's for real. I mean, there's only 12 souls on this entire planet. Every 12 people could possibly be from that soul. So the book that I grabbed this, the book that me and my dad wrote. Oh, here it is. They talked about people like that. And they said that those souls sometimes get recycled, so to speak. Like they're so far gone that there's no way they can, there's no way they could do so many good deeds or whatever, you know, to like, you know, repent for that. But they said there's no repentance. It's just what we think it is. So if he honestly went over the other side and was like, well, I was trying to clean up the human race, or, you know, whatever it was, then it's our intention. So if we were someone like that, or we stole a candy bar and we thought we were a horrible person, it's how we feel about ourselves at that moment, viewing through our perception, through our lenses. And those are the pieces of us that break off. And when those pieces break off, their picture I was trying to show you guys, when they decided to start channeling the meditation, I was like, whoa, I was just going to have you guys look at this thing real quick. I want to give you a visual. It's like this. Got this guy. So this is where you are when you're in your heart space. If you ever feel like you get a message and it's through love or whatever, say 0 light line, okay? So 0 light line, 0, which means you'll go to the center of your 0 means your molecules stop, okay? When your molecules stop, the next thought that you think creates, okay? So it's like in a quantum reality, if we can become that atom or atom, you know, that original atom, which I told Anya, I said, did you see the God that was looking out? She says, I think it was Adam. And I'm like, I think it was atom, like ATOM, like an atom. But I kept hearing Adam too. Did you see that? I felt like when I was God, there was also one that was over here that was also kind of like, that created us. Did you see that too? Huh?
The mirror?
It wasn't the mirror.
That was the bigger one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saw him, right? That was Adam?
Well, the bigger one was a girl.
Oh, okay.
That's what I saw.
I saw me as a girl, and then I saw, right to my right, I saw my hot guide Adam. You saw him?
Yeah.
Okay. My guide Adam's hot. Why wouldn't God be hot? I mean, hello. That's why they call them Greek gods, right? Jeff's like, yes, why wouldn't I be hot? I could just hear my husband. He's very sure of himself. So right here, and I've shown you guys this before, those of you that have been to class before, but for every density that we go up, for every chakra, if we are our light body, you always want to change yourself into your light body before you check truth on things, because as a light body, you have densities, and those are your chakras. But by becoming your light body, you can use your chakras as density levels. Like I was teasing Scott downstairs. He says, say 0 something. And I said, you're still in the 4th density. Ha ha. I'm teasing Scott. He's downstairs. So I'm like looking at him through the camera down there. But Scott is super gifted healer. Some of us just need to stay in the astral plane to clear that stuff though. But we can't heal anything from the same level that we're in. So we always have to go up one. So the 4th density, so we're like this. This was your little bar stool, shining light down. That's your tube of light. So you're, I'm like, your human being is down here. So you know how we talk about that tube of light. So this is kind of like your avatar self that was created to live in this reality. It's perceiving life, looking in a mirror. And then there's this, this, and this. Just past, now, future. Sorry. Your higher self is like, and what we'd like to say is starting to come through. Future, past, now. Okay, so when we go to that creation train station and the other meditations for the other classes, just kind of imagine this. It's like the little train station right here. You're going to your past, your future, and then remember the now was like nothing. It was just blank. I think that was 2 classes ago. We went into the train and there was like an angel there, and then we wanted to see the now and it was just empty, and we were like, huh, what? It's because now is empty. And in particle and creation physics, the guides kind of taught us, and I read something about this the other day, is when the particles stop in 0, that's when you think a thought and then it goes out and creates. So if you're getting stuff that you don't know whether it's true or not, what I'm hearing is say 0, which stops you. 0 light line. Okay, so 0, 0 light line. So then you're just like whoosh, up. If your light line is looping, you need to flip right side up. So let's say Earth is here. Why can't I draw? So here's us. The light line goes down like this. We're on Earth. Should go down like this. Like that. So there's you, your light line, source, Earth. Okay, so when I teach in class, 0 ground, 0 source. But if you're like this, your light line's going to go like this. When you go to source, you're going to do this. Get it? Somebody sent me a book, and I won't mention the book because the girl seems very nice. She talks about a 0 loop or something, a divine loop or something like that. And I was like, is my light line wrong? And so I asked the guides, I said, am I leading people wrong? And they said, no, the people that have the loop, it just means that they're upside down. So it's looping, going around. So you're looping and looping and looping. And that is the reincarnational loop, where you just keep looping back around into the center of the earth. You incarnate, you loop back around. But now you guys are like this. You know, you're up straight. So it's source, the real earth underneath you. But like Mandolin saw the thing with her brother, you need to actually say 0, 0 light line, and just feel yourself. You know, you become like the infinite possibilities of like kind of like the double slit experiment and stuff. And then just say, what I saw, truth. And just feel it. Feel, is it true? You know, is it not true? If it feels off, then likely it's not true. Likely something came in, a frequency came in, and will trigger things like our worst nightmare. Or, you know, that's why I bring Poochie to work with me when I used to do sessions more, because I would always see Poochie falling off the balcony and dying. It was horrible. It was awful. So I was like, all right, Poochie comes to work with me every day. You know, now I see stuff with the kids, but I know when I see that stuff, that it's because I've dropped down into like my human ego consciousness down here. And these lower frequencies down here are our past frequencies. Okay, so it's the lower frequency when the earth was a lot lower. I have some pictures. Where did my phone go? I took some pictures of the year 1880. And very interesting. Thank y'all. When you can do, you guys are like fully attuned to your divine spark and your awareness now. You can then say, I am now in that picture, and then just say 0 and then your name, like 0 or whatever. I usually just say 0 and I come back, but you can actually go into your pictures. Oh, this is my favorite picture. We were looking at this before class. That's the Hay House thing that I did, where it's, so imagine the GoPro video camera is videotaping me. That's my higher self. That's my mental body. And then the next one back would be my astral body, and then my emotional body. And it just keeps going back. So those are all the different layers of us. Meanwhile, the person that's looking through the camera is the real us that we met tonight. So that us up there is just kind of like, okay, let me take a little piece of my head, put a little camera on it, and drop it down into reality and just kind of watch. And it's just a being that's pure love, pure compassion, pure awareness. And it's us as humans who are like, oh, I'm an idiot, I'm this, I'm that. And it's our tapes in our head that we hear that our parents told us. Or, you know, I heard someone the other day was like telling her daughter that she needed to stop trying to get so much attention. And the daughter was just like sitting there, and the mom was it was at the casino, when I was at the casino and in Vegas, and the mom was like totally yelling at her cute little daughter, like, you need to stop trying to get so much attention. And you could tell the mom was the one trying to get the attention. This is a picture I love. The hand of God. That's a cool one. I love this one. I asked him if I could use that for my course, because that's one of the tools that we use, I think, in TimeTravel 3. But hold on, let me show you guys this picture. It's a trip. And you can go into your own pictures and you can heal them using the tool that you learned tonight. You say 0, 0 light line. You imagine getting in your little stool, because that stool right there, that's the mirror. And in the mirror, you are what you think you are. I see, like, as long as I'm in my heart and I'm looking in the mirror, I'm my crowned self, like my higher self. But if I'm like, you can do this, even just say 0 root chakra, show me my mirror. And I'm like, oh, actually I'm invisible right now. That's pretty good. Usually I'm like a million lost souls. You can say 0 second chakra, show me my mirror. And you can see what you look like. I look like a toothpick. Oh, you know who I am? I am Groot. What's that movie? I am Groot. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I am Groot. I'm Groot. And I'm dancing.
There's your tree.
I know, that tree's fake. If it was real, it'd be dead. She's pointing at this tree over here. I guess in my second I'm that. But the reason why I was telling Mandolin about the truth thing is make sure you're at 0 light line, because then you're out of your chakras. You're not in a chakra. The chakras are the movie theaters. The chakras have all the drama. Just picture a record player playing music, playing drama all your lifetimes. If you're at 0 light line, then you're your divine spark and you're your awareness. I usually like to say 0 light line. I am my divine spark. I am my awareness. And so then I imagine that I'm just this little GoPro video camera with this bubble of awareness around me. And then I'm on that 0 light line, and I can move up and down through my body, through all the different densities. So if I'm doing a healing on someone, I'll say, take me a density above where they need to be healed. And then I'll say, like, show me what needs to be healed. And then it's like, boom, it heals instantly. If you're trying to heal from that same level, it's like you're sitting here like trying to send energy and it's just not working and it's frustrating. But if you can imagine kind of this image in your head of you sitting in this little thing, looking into this mirror, your compassionate witness is right here. And when that exercise that I have on Patreon, where I take you into the witness protection room, you're actually right here, looking through this mirror that is your Christ self. So I'll say, like, you're looking through glass, they can't see you, but you can see them. I actually created that, and it's actually you're your compassionate witness looking down at you. That's the you that's got your eyes closed, you're meditating, whatever you're thinking is going here, and it's bouncing, and it's going back through how you're feeling. This is your snow globe. Whatever thoughts, emotions, and feelings you have around you are going to tint what is in these right here, okay? And then basically then you're going to feel it. So if you can say 0, 0 light line, and then go into your heart space and just imagine that mirror. You've got your screens behind you, which is what I found fascinating about what Anya wrote, because she says, I can see behind me and above me. In her thing, she says, I can see behind me. She was right here. She can see behind her and above her. And I was like, wow, because as I was reading what she wrote, I was like, wow, she totally ended up as her avatar. She ended up as her God self, which is right here. But you can use pictures to go into to heal past experiences. So this picture that I have from 1890, where is it? Oh, we're almost done. Here we go. 1850. Here we go. Try this one. You can kind of, there's a glare, but see this, let me see if I can get a better one without the glare. Darn it. It was Glen Ivy Resort where I was. Here we go. There we go. There's some people. So you can say 0, 0 light line. I am my divine spark and awareness. And then just feel what that feels like. You shouldn't be attached to your mind or your awareness or anything. If you have to say, I am my compassionate witness, you can, but I never have to do that. Whatever's right for you, wherever you feel like you're not attached to your judgments, you're just kind of like floating. Scott uses I am pure awareness. But then say, I am now that person. Show me what that feels like. It's a trip. It's like a super trip. It's like, it almost feels like, I don't know. I sound crazy. Does it feel like it's the year 2365? Or does it really feel like it's 1850? It does. I feel like it's like, it is right there, but if you take a step back, it feels like it can. Yeah, Anya says it feels like a timeline. It feels like almost like when you step back out. So when you become like pictures or whatever, you go into like, say that person, you can feel what they felt like. I literally feel like I have like a piece of paper like up against me, you know, like it's a veil. It's the veil so that we weren't able to see the past, present, and future. I went through each picture. This was right after I had the whole I'm dead thing experience when we were here. So I was sitting here going like, I am now this, I'm now that. And I was just totally tripping out on everything. But what was funny was the year I was born. So I was like, I am now there. So it's like 0, 0 light line, I am now there. It was weird because I actually felt like I was in like the middle of a chakra, like my soul hadn't come here yet. And I was just in this little tube, like waiting to be shot into the world or something. So pictures are fun to play with now that you have this attunement. You can use the pictures, or you can go into like a you when you're little and just say, I am now Don't say your name. Don't say anything because that brings you into the astral plane, into the fields. Just say, like, in your mind, just, I am that. Like, just imagine that you're that. And then once you imagine you're that, just say clear, and the light from above will just come down and go and clear you. I'm probably going to do a healing with photos class, because I did one a while back, but I didn't record it very well, so it's real like muffled and stuff. But it's actually an absolutely amazing picture. Bill's brother, who actually just passed away from chemo, we healed his cancer. I actually did it through a picture. I just said, I am now that. I went into it. I could see in my own body where it was, and I just kind of cut it out, threw it out, saw I must be sick in order to take time off. I removed the belief, installed something different, and then he went to the doctors and they said, your cancer's gone. But just to be safe, let's do chemo, you know. So then he did 2 years of chemo and medication. He just passed away, which is sad. But don't become other people. That's kind of violating people's privacy. But, you know, go into pictures of yourself. Like even right now, just real quick before we go, zero light line, and just kind of imagine that you're just this line, okay? And then say, I am me 7 years ago. And just feel what it feels like. It's like a drastic difference. It's almost like you're like, yeah, it's a huge difference. And then you can just say clear, and just imagine either those rings, those virtue rings coming down to clear you. What those rings are, they told me, was actually, it's light shining through these like rings that are kind of like mirrors. The light shines through and it makes them ring. So they create sound. So when they're coming down, they're like sound going through your field or around your field, and they're playing different virtues. So you could say like a truth virtue or a love virtue or whatever, something like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, you know what? Is that this? Is that this that you saw? Yeah. I just realized she has her A with a ring around it. I feel like it's what comes from that. Like if someone was to go gong and hit the A.
I don't think they could see the yellow. There's a yellow streak that goes from the A to the world to then that like black space on the bottom. I don't know if they can see.
Oh my God, there it is. I couldn't see it. Oh yeah, it's a sound frequency going down into there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the rings are like you know, like frequency rings coming down. But anyway, so today's takeaway, I want you guys to work with this week, is I want you to let me play this song for you. So you know how much crap everyone talks about Michael Jackson, right? So did I play the Michael Jackson song last time? Now that you guys are attuned to this, everyone talked crap about Michael Jackson. Or you can think about someone that you talked crap about or whatever. Gosh, what is it? Okay, so zero light line. Don't say his name. I am now, and then show me what it feels like. Imagine being in his diamond. You can feel like the drama around him, right? Just close your eyes. I am now in that diamond. I think they are Sonia harmonics. What's JW? This is the part where I started bawling, crying, because listen to this part right here. This part. I'm now him. Show me what it feels like. I know.
whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be there to protect you. Yeah, baby. With the nice and the snow,
But think of anyone that you've hated, anyone that you've despised. I mean, people said so much bad stuff about him. So he's our soul group. He's part of our soul group. So he is a piece of us. Not all the brothers and sisters are. Madonna is in our group. Oprah. There's a whole bunch of famous people. But if you can go into anyone that you have ever, I mean, I probably wouldn't want to go into Hitler, but it's just like so emotional, right? So if you can put yourself into all this, the amount of compassion that we start to have for anyone totally kills ego. It kills ego, and ego is not bad. It's just when we can have compassion for people, that's when we can truly, truly, truly begin to be happy. Because if we're happy, then the only people we see around us are happy. I told Anya the other day, I said, when I'm in a bad mood and somebody's happy, I think they're being fake. I'll be like, they're so fake. They're just pretending to be happy because I'm not happy. But when we can feel compassion for someone that we despise, even, if I'm so mad at my sister, it's just like 0, 0 light line. I am my divine spark and awareness. Please show me what she feels like right now. It's like, oh God, it hurts. No wonder she's perceiving me that way. Because remember, whatever we're feeling around us is how we're seeing those mirrors behind us. So what we're feeling is always going to tint our reality, no matter what, until we can call in that light to clear us. The reason why they made that the stool spinny is because sometimes we get tipped and we'll be pointed the wrong way. So if you ever feel like life is just off, just bring yourself, let's see, 0. What should we call that space? The little bar stool.
I feel like it's like the stool of truth or the stool of something.
The stool of truth. I like that. Let's call it the stool of truth. How about the light stool of truth? The light stool. There we go. 0 light stool. There we go. Right? Nope, that takes us in the astral plane. Darn it. We just have to know it. It's so hard to be a healer these days because when we call it something, then it drops us down into it. It works. It works. But let me see. Just 0 light. 0 light. And then you become the light, and then just imagine dropping down onto it. That's still, and if you're faced this way or that way, you're going to be perceiving reality very incorrectly because you're pointed the wrong direction. Not wrong. I don't want to even say wrong. And if you're in the astral plane, you are like this. Laying down. So if you say like, show me where my higher self is, you're going to feel it right here. Because that's in the mirror. It's right there. If you say, show me where source is, you're going to feel it over your 2 o'clock. Show me where God is. Who knows? Everyone has different gods. But if you show me where source, it's going to be over there because you're laying down. And I always think of the Bible verse with Jesus when he's in the boat and the guides told me about it and I looked it up and he's laying there in a fisher boat and it's raining and he's not stressing. He's asleep. And they say, well, how could you just be laying there? And he just goes from laying down. He sits up and he says, cease. And then all the storm stops. It's because when we can wake up from this state, which is where all of us are, until a lot of us, until tonight, when we can wake up and get right here in this beam of light with our realities behind us, with this mirror of awareness in front of us, and we can learn to clear our snow globes, clear all that, then we can start to perceive the life that we want. It'll go onto those screens. It'll create it. But if we're asleep over here, we're just creating realities over here in a non-reality, and it's just not as effective. And that's the astral plane. That's where all the earthbound spirits are, the dead people, all that stuff. So like Anya was seeing the earth kind of like opening up and all that stuff coming out. She was like up here looking down at like kind of like the false reality, which is right over here. So anyways, I know I went a little bit over, and I know that meditation, I expected to do a little exercise and then do a completely different meditation, but now I don't remember what the meditation was. So did they cover everything? They did, I believe. Yeah.
Did they get rid of the stones?
Yeah, the stones were on the platter. Oh, okay, so that's another thing. If you close your eyes and say, I am light and I am new. Please show me what that feels like. And then ask to see any third dimensional, second or first dimensional aspects inside of you. So, oh, cool. My pumice stone used to come up to here. I was like a wave of possibility. I was like,